After 3 missed kicks from kicker Earl Peters, we know we're not headed to the postseason this year. But we can still finish this season strong as we take on New Mexico State and make our, conference record a little better and hopefully finish strong here. And last week, man, Keenan Mills struggled 3 picks, took some sacks. We had 3 missed kicks, though, that ultimately were the deciding factor in the game is why is Eddie out here playing quarterback? We're going to have to take a look at our depth chart real quick. All right, don't know what happened there. Keenan Mills is out here. That was a weird start to the game here. Don't know why Javier Eddie technically got the start as we go back to Gibbs on the ground here, and he's bottled up. 3rd down and 5. We're going to go back to the ground game here. We got Aquan Benjamin hitting the gas. Benjamin across midfield. Big run. 1st down for the Sharks. That's what we're looking for. Staying in the pistol here, going back on the ground. Aquan Benjamin finds some space, but there is a flag on the play. Continuing a trend from the last episode, we got a holding call. We are going to update the sliders in the offseason. I think it makes sense just to continue on with these ones through the rest of this year, and then we'll update them and start next season fresh. And that injury or holding slider is definitely going to take a drop as we go to Benjamin. And he gets us back 6 of them yards, which I'll take. But for now, we're going to have to keep dealing with this high holding slider as we go out there to Porter, who can't hold on through contact again. He is such a big play threat, but he's really struggled in them contested catch situations as we can't get the pass off. Big sack taken. The Aggies come out here looking to pass to begin the day. Nice completion in front of Davian Kershaw. Awad looking to pass. That's their quarterback as we get to him and get a sack with Lewis Carter. 2nd and long, and again, Awad's going to pass. We get no pressure. He just checks it down. Big tackle by Kerr. 3rd and 11 here. Just got to keep him from converting as they go out towards the sticks, and he's going to come down with it, and he breaks the tackle all the way to the 30. Good throw by Parker Awad, but a great play by the receiver on that one. We should have had him. I definitely didn't think he was going to be able to convert that as they go to Hall on the ground, and we're all over it with Newell. They're really bunched up in this situation. I certainly expect him to throw the ball, and I was wrong. They're going to pull it with Awad, and he's gone. Webbs can get over there and make the tackle, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Aggies. Awad just had barely 100 yards coming into this game. I didn't show off when I look at the roster. But, dude, I didn't expect this level of running out of him as they go to Hall, touchdown, Aggies. We're in trouble, man. We're already trailing 7-0 in this game. Quincy Kongbo's already gotten another win on the season. We only had 2 last year. This year we're at 3. But we certainly had higher expectations as we go to DJ Dash. Solid pickup. I do think Keenan Mills has a ton to work on in the offseason, and I absolutely am considering getting a guy out of the portal because throws like that can't happen. 2nd and long, Hawad looking to pass. We got some pressure, but it doesn't affect him at all. Big completion to Goins. The Aggies have controlled the first quarter here as Awad feeling pressure, steps up, runs through the pocket. Nice gain. He has 30 yards rushing in this game. Like I said, coming in, he was just barely over 100 yards. I wasn't expecting this level of production out of him. So we definitely got to keep an eye on that as that's another completion to Goins and a broken tackle. 1st down, Aggies. Actually, I lied. That's Tyler King, not Goins. I don't know why I thought Goins was number 12. Doesn't matter. They're not our team. I don't really care. Awad's going to use motion. Hand it off to Hall, who breaks a tackle, but we get him down with Newell. 2nd down and 7, back to the ground game, and we're going to have a big old crease for Hall to run through. Darian Kershaw makes the tackle, but it's not looking good for your Sharks today. We certainly need to improve as we got, a lot to prove here in Season 2 as that's a completion and a touchdown to Williams. We're down 14 early. This is not what I expected coming into this game. Let's try to wake this sleeping offense up. We're going to go and try to pound the ball with Gibbs. RPO, we got our man. That's Quincy Porter. Big play, jukes inside all the way out to the 39-yard line. That's a big 1st down. That's the type of play we needed after a very disappointing first quarter. It's been very bad so far. The Aggies have been significantly better. Opening up the second quarter, going underneath. We had Broussard. There's a flag. It's holding. It don't matter. It wouldn't have counted anyway. It's on Richardson, our right guard. Yeah, man. This penalty slider's been pretty tough. Our offensive line needs some work. 1st and 20 now. We're going to go out to Quincy Porter. 1-on-1. Another flag. This is killing me, man. It looks like holding once again. Maybe it's just because I think we suck, but I would have probably accepted that and made it 2nd and 20 instead of 1st and 30. Pressure in there on Mills, and he takes a sack. It's going to be 2nd and 41. You know what you do in this situation? You give up and you run the ball. Gibbs right up the middle. Pick up what you can. 3rd and 36, dude. That's awful. Terrence Gibbs gets another carry. 4th and 30. That's one of the worst drives I've ever seen from our offense. And if things like this happen, you got to worry about Quincy Kongbo keeping his job. It's going to be a long transition, though. This team wasn't good last year. And this year they got better, but it's their first time in a conference. It's really tough when you have a ton of transfers, but that's a big play by Woods. Sounds like a ton of excuses, but I knew this was going to be a long-term build as it's 3rd and 12. No pressure on a wad here. He steps up in the pocket, checks it down. We can't get him down with Newell in time. We give up the first down. Man, I really thought we had him there. That's disappointing here. Probably go to the ground game. Nope, RPO, easy completion out there. Kershaw decks him. I don't know. We need a turnover at this point or else this game's looking pretty rough as Kershaw makes the tackle, and that's what we get. Recovered by Jason Brevard. That's what we're looking for right there. Perfect play by this defense, man. All right, now we need this offense to wake it up. We're going to go to Quincy Porter on an out route, and he can't come down with it. I will admit they got the best of us here. 3rd down and 10. I think we got our guy, Tavana Measy. 1st down, Sharks, finally. Got to find ways to create and get openings here as we go to Benjamin, who's bottled up once again. 2nd down and 10. We're going to toss it out there. That's our man, Aquan Benjamin, getting some solid yards. 3rd and 7, but as long as we don't take a sack here, I feel pretty good about this being a 2-try opportunity. And, you know, we are going to go for it. It was a 4th down situation. I intended on going the whole time here. As long as we didn't take a sack. I think we got our man Quincy Porter deep. Terrible throw, and there's a flag. They're going to decline it. It was holding. We didn't stand a chance. It's going to give the Aggies really good field position, but we're at the 38-yard line. I feel fine about that call. I feel really good about it. You just have to execute when you're on offense, and it's just something we haven't been able to do. Too inconsistent at the quarterback position. I feel like our ground game's been really up and down as a wad's going to get an easy completion underneath that's punched out by Gilmore. 2nd down and 10. Pressure on a wad. He gets it away, dude. He is a very quick field reader. He makes decisions, and he gets the ball out of his hands anytime we get pressure in there on him. He's looking like a very good quarterback here. Big 3rd down, though, for our defense. Got to get him off the field, and we can't. All the way down to the 40-yard line. That was number 18, Joshua Goins, the tight end, who made the play. Here, they're heavy on the left. I'm expecting a run that way, and they go right at Goins, and it doesn't matter. We can't get them down. It's a short pickup, but we lose Damian Hooks to an injury again. He's definitely feeling beat up lately. 2nd and 7, back to the ground game, and I miss. Ah, man, big opportunity blown there. This defense has been really good all season long, but they're struggling today. Damian Hooks has some bruised ribs. We're going to keep him out for now. 2nd down, quick RPO right there with Webb and get Gilmore to get him down. Big 3rd down and 3 here. They hand it off. We hit him in the backfield, and we stuff him up and get the stop. Gabe Alvarado's their kicker, and he's going to have to hit this one from about 34 yards away on the left hash, and it hits the upright. No good. That's what we need. 2:36 till halftime. We got to get this offense going. Going quick out there, DJ Dash. Nothing, man. Nothing at all. Trying to see if we can find some different ways to create some yardage here, and it's just not working. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, if we don't get a 1st down here, I don't feel great about where we're at. That's a lob throw that's inaccurate to Ward. We're going to have to punt again. Minute 50 till halftime. We need our defense to stand strong once again while we try to figure out this offense. A wad, though, all day in the pocket till Nagy and Woods get there and get him down. Big sack for the Sharks. Feel like we match up really well against this team as they go right back to the ground game, and we got them. Bottled up, nothing. 3rd and 12. Got to trust our defense to get a stop here. No pressure, but it's a deep shot. I think we're there. Brevard breaks it up. Big stop. We need to steal some points before halftime like we did last week here. It all starts with some smart decision-making. Just check it down, get the ball out of our hands, get some yards to Dash. Losing a lot of time here. Probably should have called a timeout. I think we got DJ Dash, and he drops it, man. This offense has been pretty much unwatchable here late in the season. DJ Dash, though, is going to catch and run, get the 1st down, get out of bounds around midfield. I'm hoping to at least get into field goal range here. Quincy Porter underneath, easy completion. Nice big play there. Call a timeout. See if they leave the middle of the field open again. Yeah, nice little check down to Vanamisi this time. Call another timeout here. We've got one timeout left, 24 seconds. I want to take a couple shots to the end zone and just see if we can maybe come down with one. Quincy Porter broken up. Bills has got to be smart with the ball here as we get Benjamin in motion. One-on-one shot down the field, and it was undercut, nearly picked. 3rd and 10. Keenan Mills, DJ Dash. Little hole shot, but a terrible throw. This ought to be a pretty easy kick here. Peters gets it blocked. You've got to be kidding me. We have the worst luck of anybody in the world kicking the ball. That's going to go back to the house and make it a 21-0 game before halftime. I mean, seriously, how are we this unlucky that we get the animation for a block? Man, like, we can't get anything to go our way in this one. We feel deflated coming into the half. It's wow. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's been very, very bad. I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. But I'm certainly worried about losing some of our top players to the portal. And absolutely the fact that our recruiting class is non-existent right now scares the heck out of me, as that's a big gain. Ahmad looking to run the RPO. Easy completion out there. Nice tackle by Jason Prevard. I was expecting more out of him this year, but he's been a little bit of a disappointment. But at times, you know, he really steps up when we need him to. I'll give him that, as Newell makes a big tackle there, 3rd and long. We need to force a mistake out of this New Mexico State offense. We need a turnover. We need like a pick six, a fumble. Some pressure on Ahmad would be nice, but he just delivers a perfect strike in front of Kylan Webb. 1st and 10. Oh my, we missed that opportunity there. Big run. Woods got upfield a little too quickly on that one. He should have been right there to stuff that up. 2nd and 2 now. Back to the ground game. They're going to pull it with Ahmad, and there's nobody over there. Ahmad with all sorts of space, jukes and tries to get around our defenders, but we get him down. 2 backs in the game here. Play action. Deep shot time. Woods can't get him to the ground, but he forces a throwaway. We'll take it. Perfect situation. We keep him at about this range, keep him on this hash, and we'll feel all right. Navarro already missed a kick from here as that's broken up by Prevard. Navarro from 40 yards left hash. I feel pretty good about this kick, but he's going to nail it this time. He made his corrections. New Mexico State takes a 24-0 lead here. Now you got to wonder if this is a permanent move or just a temporary move to try to get this offense going. We got Javier Eddy checking into the game here. He's going to hand it off. Aquan Benjamin right up the middle. Eddy stays in the game here. He's a little bit more of a threat with his legs, so it makes sense that if we just got to find something to spark this offense. Coach Quincy Congbo's definitely got to be getting desperate to pull off this move as they hand it off again. That's a 1st down. Nice run. Back to the ground game. Again, it's Benjamin. Nice carry. Javier Eddy has a lot of struggles as a passer, but you can't really hold that against him when our starter has been so bad in Keenan Mills. Honestly, if you can't throw the ball with him, he doesn't offer much of a running threat. It makes sense to give Javier Eddy some playing time. I'm curious if this will be permanent or just a temporary fix, as that's Quincy Porter hitting the gas. Nice play down the sideline. 1st and goal, Sharks. Eddy pulls it, lowers his shoulder, and he can't get in, but we're down to the 2. 2nd and goal. Going to the screen here. Aquan Benjamin bottled up. He drops the ball, and it's another turnover. This time it's not on the quarterback. Come on, guys. I don't know. I feel pretty good that this might not be a fumble. I can't tell if the ball's moving. It's really, really close. We might throw a challenge here. His butt might still be up right here when it looks like the ball starts to move a little bit. And I mean, this view, to me, I feel really good that we're going to get this ball back. And boom, we win this challenge. We got the ball back. I don't know if it's going to matter, but we at least are going to get a shot at 3 here, as that run went nowhere. I know it's not popular to take your 3 in this spot, but we need points on the board, and we need to feel better about this team. The kick's up. It's a 21-point ball game now. We should have probably went for it there, but I just feel like getting momentum was important. And, you know, sometimes just getting that first step of the comeback underway is all that matters, and points are going to help as Ahmad goes down the field. Big completion. Jason Prevard was beat. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't familiar with Ahmad's game, but dude's been really good here as they delay, hand it off, and that's a big tackle. Jeremiah Newell. 3rd down and 9. We got some pressure coming at Ahmad. It gets picked up. He has all day, but Prevard, you gotta pick that off, man. And look at that. Javier Eddy remains in the game, trying to complete this comeback. Everything went well on the first drive. Let's just try to keep this going with Gibbs in the backfield. Nice run. We do lose Gregory to injury. That could be a big loss. Our left tackle goes down. 3rd and 3. We're going to have to try to get this ball out of our hands quick. We got Broussard. Easy completion. Big first down. We're going to keep Gregory out for a little bit with that foot contusion. RPO. Eddie has his man Tavana Measy. Nice pickup on first down. And hopefully just keep stacking first downs and make big plays. We got Ward, but it's broken up. There's a flag. What is it? It's holding. I hope they decline it because we're going to go for this. Thank you for declining it. 4th and 5. Got to get this first down. And they declined it, made it much more reasonable for us to try to go for it and get it. We got our guy. Amizi can't get to the sticks. There's a flag. They weren't going to let us get this conversion anyway, man. These flags have been outrageous on our offensive line. We got to get this figured out, man. I just, what do you do? I tell you what, I know one thing I am going to do. Ollie Richardson, welcome to the game. Gregory has been called for holding about 5 or 6 times in the last 2 games. It's time for him to sit on the bench and just try to reset his mind. Our defense is just put in such a bad spot here. We got to try to stop them. Quick pressure, and that causes a bad throw. 2nd and 10, Ahmad just going to run on a pitch, and wow, nice cut on the inside. Still gets nothing. Texas is sitting here at number 1 and Pitt's at number 2, followed by Penn State and Georgia. That's a pretty interesting top 4 right there. 2 you expect, 2 you don't really, as we enter the 4th quarter here. And we had to use a timeout because I hit a wrong button and accidentally called a play that would not have worked for us on defense here. So big mistake. Getting pressure. Ahmad resets his feet. Terrible throw. Big stop. It was worth it. Barker on the punt. That's a pretty solid one here, but I think it's returnable for Aquan Benjamin. Cuts to the inside. Oh, if I don't run into our guy, that might be a punt return. Javier Eddie trying to lead a comeback here in this one. We got Ward. Nice throw, but nearly picked. Guess maybe we didn't have him like I thought. Eddie stepping up, maneuvering in the pocket. Takes a sack. All right, big 3rd down. We're going to go for this regardless. Into coverage. Broken up. This right here is your ball game. Get Eddie on the move, and he can't get the pass off. I'm hitting X, and he just wouldn't throw it. Our defense is going to have to try to bail us out with a turnover here. Maybe we'll get lucky. That's a big start as he spins out and loses 5. 2nd and long, back to the ground game. We need the tackle. Nice job by Kerr getting him down. 3rd down and 8. I'll be curious if they do, and they do choose to put it in the air. We get the stop. They're going to have to settle for 3, which is all right because 3 scores and 2 extra points still gets us the points we need if they hit this kick that is, in fact, going to go through. 27-3 is your score here today. All right, let's see if we can get this offense going here. Eddie just dirts it in front of Porter. I don't know if he's a good enough passer here as we're going to get it. The ball in his hands, let him try to create, and it's a short game. Got it. Oh, terrible throw. There's a flag. It's probably coming back anyway. Wait. Oh, it's DPI. We will take that first down, man. Big play for us. All right. Let's try to get a big play going here. There's a flag. We're just going to take the completion to Porter, get a big play, and probably watch it all come back for holding if I had to bet. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, they're showing Aquan Benjamin. Of course it is. Are you kidding me? We can't do anything right today. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. We're going to go underneath. We got Porter again, wide open. Not as big of a play, but we do convert and get the first down. 1st and 10 here. We're just going to get the ball out of Eddie's hands, get it into Benjamin, who can't quite get the edge like I thought he would. 2nd and 3 here. We got him. Nice completion. Quincy Porter, big play. Makes a man miss, but that's all right. I was hoping he could get a bigger play, but he's over 100 yards today. He finds a way to put up his numbers, man. I give him a ton of credit. He's a good receiver, and we can count on him to do good things, as that's a tight window throw broken up. Thought we could fit it in there to DJ Dash, but, you know, he's kind of a smaller target, and it hasn't worked well for us here as we got pressure in our face, move our feet, and we can't get the pass off with any sort of accuracy, and it just falls to the ground. Should have been an easy completion. Eddie in quick rhythm, and it's a high throw. 4th and 10. Everything's on the line here. I think we got a shot. Quincy Porter, it's broken up. I thought about trying to run here. I thought we would have a crease right here in between our tackle and our guard. But I seen Porter. You can see over here in the corner. He's 1 right now. A better throw, and that's not wobbly, gets that ball to him out front, and that's a touchdown. These poor guys got to feel like my Florida Gators at this point. They're like, no matter how good we do, it doesn't matter. Our offense is just totally inept. I mean, I know the Gators in real life just came off a big win over Texas, but man, they finally broke. The dam just broke here. Touchdown, New Mexico State. The blowout, it's been on, but it's officially on. Nice throw out there. That's Ward, first down. Keep the chains moving here. It feels impossible right now, but all we can do is keep trying to move the sticks, as that's going to be unabated to the quarterback. Strip sack. Oh, man. This game's over. I mean, it was already over, but that's it. That's the nail in the coffin right there. The good news is we're going to hold him to a 3-point try here. It's going to be about a 31-yard field goal just inside of the right hash. It goes down the middle. Mexico State extends their lead up further, 37-3. Looking to add a late score here to just try to make this game a little bit more respectable. Tavon Amizi makes the catch and gets in. It was an ugly game, but at least we finished it on a bit of a high note here. We got in. This embarrassment's over. A 37-10 final here today. That late touchdown didn't really matter, but maybe it'll give us a little bit of momentum going forward. Parker Awad was awesome. 264, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was just incredible today. Taking a look at our stats, technically we had the better offense, but we ran a ton more plays once again. And, it wasn't efficient. Nothing about what we did was efficient or explosive. We didn't turn the ball over as far as interceptions go. We did have a fumble, but I don't know, man. Keenan Mills is really struggling right now, and I don't know if he's the answer. He finished 8-19 for 93 yards. Eddie came in. He had that late touchdown pass. He hit 15 of 28 passes for 154. He added a little bit on the ground, which is what I like about him. He added, 16 rushing yards. He did have a fumble. That did cost us, but that was on a strip sack, not really on a run. I don't know, guys. Aquan Benjamin went over 100 yards once again. Amizi had 7 catches and a touchdown. Dash caught 6. Porter went over 100 yards once again, but it's just disappointing that it's in such a bad effort to end our season. I thought this year was going to go better. I thought we were pretty much certain to be a bowl-eligible team, and I guess I got a little too cocky with the talent that we have and the talent of myself here playing this game, so we got to get back in a rhythm here. We got to find a way to build this team. We might have to start giving up on some of these recruiting battles to try to just get players to commit to us because we need some help bad. Jason Pavard got a Defensive Player of the Week, which is cool for the CUSA. He had 3 deflections. One of them should have been a pick. We also ended up losing Marcus Worthy as well, which I kind of expected, but it's disappointing. Like I said, things are just kind of falling apart here at the end of year 2. And as we look at the season stats, like Keenan Mills has 19 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. I'm debating benching him for the final game of the season and going with Javier Eddy, but I think we're going to start Mills to begin the day, see, what kind of day he's going to have. Hopefully, maybe we can get a big day from Aquan Benjamin. I'd like to get him over 1,000 yards. Receiving wise, Quincy Porter, I think it'll take just a couple catches and he will hit that 1,000-yard threshold. I have no doubt about that as long as he doesn't get hurt. We tend to have some big plays out of him. He's been a really good player for us. We're meeting his deal breaker, so hopefully he decides not to leave us in the offseason. So in this final game, we got about as winnable a game as you can hope. We played Delaware. Hopefully we can get double our win total, get to the 4 victories we're looking for. They're far worse than us overall wise. So if we drop this game, I think Quincy Kongbo really needs to worry about the future of his job because we had much higher expectations than 4-8. But at 4-8, at least he showed progress. That's kind of how we're looking at it. We'll have to see how it all works out for us as we jump into this one. Let's get this one underway, though. We're going to open up on offense. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a good kick return by Washington here, and we can make this a big opening to the day. But, we'll take what we can get. Quincy Porter and Lewis Carter have both been great for us. It looks like they have Jakari Kelly at wide receiver number 9 we need to watch out for. Keenan Mills nearly got himself benched for this game, but we're going to stick with him as he gets pressured immediately. All of the criticism I want to put on this kid, it's things like that do make it almost impossible for him to be successful as we go to Aquan Benjamin for a short gain. 3rd down and 6 now. See if we can get some success here to begin the day. I think we got a deep shot. If we can layer it in there, we just overthrow Benjamin. That's been Mills' biggest issue. He really struggles to hit the ones that he should, man. He has big shots like that, and his accuracy just fades as we're going to give up a pretty good return, and I don't know how he bounced off that hit. Jake Brettel has been really good for them at tight end, but honestly, his stats don't seem that impressive. I think they're showing him more because of his overall. Let's see if we can slow down this Blue Hen offense. Again, we're facing issues with getting pressure in there on the quarterback. That's a big hit. Back to the ground game here with Blake Brown, and they got all sorts of space, or I should say, to the ground game for the first time. That was a nice run. Simple run up the middle, and we are there to stuff it. Big stop. Looks like they're going to go to an RPO. They got a receiver wide open, and that's going to be a touchdown. Delaware is going to take the early 7-0 lead here today. We haven't shown anything against these guys so far. They're stacking the box. We're going to have to stretch this defense out eventually. They are all over us there. You can really tell they don't respect our pass game so far this season, as we are going to find Quincy Porter here. Get a nice play as he breaks that tackle and extends for the first down. Amizi, slot right, play action on the move, and we are looking for him, man. Nice pass, and he can't come down with it. I will admit, I know that was pretty tight coverage, but we have a good gap there for Benjamin. Third and manageable here. I think we can step up with Keenan Mills. We got a big old opening here. The C's parted, and we got a big first down, 24 yards for our QB. Back to the ground game here. We got Aquan Benjamin on the edge. One man to beat, and he might be able to just outrace him, but he gets caught at about the 4. Big run, though. Big first down and goal. Amizi, slot left. We're going to go right out there to him. He can't break that tackle. All right, though, second and goal. Back to Aquan Benjamin, and we didn't block with our right guard. Apparently, he thought that was beneath him, as we're going to look to pass with Keenan Mills, and we got pressured. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Nobody was open. So we're going to settle for this short field goal that is up and good. It's a 7-3 ball game. We still got points. That's ultimately what matters. Play action here. Brown going down the field, and he just misses. Looking again to take a shot. We're sending some pressure. He has a man. Davian Kerr got beat. That's a big play for their top receiver. Looking to pass here on second down. We're getting no pressure on Brown as he finds a guy for a good pickup. It's going to be third and short here as they're going to go to the QB run, and they get it easy. Play action, taking a deep shot. One-on-one. Davian Kerr just breaks it up. I'll take it. Looking to pass again. They are very pass happy in this game, but our pressure's not getting home. They're forced to check it down. That's broken up. Third down with a chance to get off the field here. Woods gets home along with Russell. Big sack, big stop for our defense. Going to the ground game to open up this drive. That's Terrence Gibbs lowering his shoulder, fighting ahead for a 6-yard gain. Webb got shaken up on that punt return. You guys didn't see it. We're going to take him out until he's healthy. This is our final game of the season, so we don't have to worry about season health, but we do have to still worry about the career health of guys like Aquan Benjamin, which is why you're seeing a lot of Terrence Gibbs in this game, as he's going to get that first down, big play. Getting the snap off just before the end of the quarter, because I like the look as we find Brousseau for the good gain. Honestly, it's been pretty evenly matched. It's just been done differently by both teams so far. The Blue Hens have been a little more explosive, but we've been running the ball, and it's been working well. Second down, we're going to give it to Benjamin and let him get a carry. Man, he found nothing. 3rd and 2 up around midfield. You got to wonder if they'll go for it, and that isn't going to matter as DJ Dash gets us the first down. Going to the RPO, we got it. Easy completion. DJ Dash moves the chains again. Staying in the gun here, going back to the ground game, and we're bottled up. Big loss. 3rd and long now, got to pass. We're going to need somebody to win one-on-one, and we get pressured. Field goals have not been our thing, but I have been working on trying to get better at them. So hopefully we see some dividends, and we're not. That kick's going to go wide left. Another missed opportunity for points here. Following that miss, Delaware has pretty good field position, but we're going to get a big sack. Jeremiah Newell makes the play. 2nd and long, going to the screen game, and they got all sorts of space for Jakari, and he's going to get a solid pickup. 3rd and 8, look for him to target number 9, Jakari Kelly, once again. I keep forgetting his last name, so hopefully I can remember it, because he has been pretty important to him, as they are going to go down the field, and we get a big hit on the tight end, and it won't matter. First down, Blue Hens. Fresh set of downs here. They're going to go on the ground, and we are there. Kylan Webb back in the game, makes the play. Trying to get some brush in there as they get an easy completion on the curl in front of Davy and Kerr. 3rd and 1, look for the tush push. That's my guess here. And we are all over it. They get nothing. They do spread us out a little bit here. I wasn't expecting that on 4th and 1. I thought they were going to go right back to the tush push, and they're going to find space. They pick their way through with some patience and get that first down. Using a little bit of motion here, they're going to go play action. No pressure again on the quarterback, but that one's broken up. Big hit by Gilmore. Looking to pass here, firing it into a tight window. Davy and Kershaw breaks that one up. 3rd and 10. Spiller checks into the game to be in the backfield here. We're not going to send a blitz. We're just going to try to get home with 3, and we do. Big stop. This will be about a 45-yard field goal that is up and good. Blue Hens take the 7-point advantage once again. Kazi's going to take the return here. Patience. He's going to pick the edge. He might have the speed. Can he break it? Oh, no. We got too close to the sideline. That could have been a touchdown right there. From the pistol, we're going to hand it off. Try to get another carry to Benjamin, who can't quite get outside, and he loses 4. 3rd down and 8 now. We're going to send Dash in motion. And I don't know what we're going to do. That looked pretty covered. Get what we can get here. 4th and 6, we're past midfield. I know this is aggressive, but I like the look. We're going to go for it. We're going to snap the ball. We got Dash, and there's a flag. We might not have got the first down anyway. They're going to call holding. I should have known better, man. Like I said, these sliders are going to change in the offseason. They do call holding. I have a feeling they're probably going to decline it and take the ball, which they do. Certainly wouldn't consider myself a football genius for saying they're going to decline it and take the ball, but you know, there's always a chance there could be a stupid head coach out there. Is that's going to be stopped by our top player, Lewis Carter. I'm hoping he doesn't leave in the portal in the offseason. He's such an important piece of our puzzle, and I think he's a great player we can have for one more year. As Brown's on the move, they got a guy wide open. Davy and Kerr didn't cover him, or he was just in an open zone. There is a flag, though. We got to decide whether to take this or not. They're going to call holding on the offense. I do think that we've seen a rise in these penalties lately. I think we got to accept it and make it 2nd and long. Tight end in the game here, 2nd and long. We're sending a blitz at Brown, and he goes down. That's a sack. Big play by Newell from the linebacker position. He was lining up over the center. 3rd and very long here. We got to feel good about getting a stop. We would hope as Spiller gets the carry. They gave up on this drive. Better try to find our offensive rhythm here as we go to DJ Dash underneath, and there's a flag. It's probably holding. And that's exactly what they're going to call again, man. I think they've taken the whole concept of holding happens on every play and kind of turned that up to the max here lately in this series. Because it feels like no matter what we do, man, I don't know. There's a hold on every play as we're just going to go underneath. Make this a respectable 3rd down, and we'll rush to the line. I like our formation here. We got 2 chances here to convert, in my opinion. I have every... Oh my gosh, what a terrible throw. I have every intention of going for this. It's the last game of the year. I got nothing to lose. Tight end, Zach Ward, wide open, 1st down. Let's keep moving. We play a pretty aggressive style of ball here, I won't lie, and it's come back to hurt us a few times this year, but at this point, I don't really see a reason not to be aggressive. Maybe next year I'll learn my lesson and wait to turn up the aggression in moments as we're going to take a shot. That's going to be broken up. 3rd and 4, got to convert here to keep this drive alive. I think we got DJ Dash. Easy completion, easy conversion. Call a timeout. 33 seconds. Got to be mindful of the clock, but we got a chance as we find Tavon Amizi 1st down. Let's rush to the line here, just because I do think that even though the clock will start running, we can conserve that timeout. We got the 1st down. We're going to go to Zach Ward one-on-one, and he can't come down with it. He's got to make that play. Listen, in this situation as a tight end, you got to be able to take the contact, box out the defender, and come down with it. I want to see that growth out of him. He took a big leap forward this year. Hopefully he sticks around, and next year he'll make that play. 21 seconds till halftime. Clock is very important here. We're going to take a shot to the end zone. Quincy Porter, and he breaks it up. We'll take it. That should be holding. I thought it was going to be DPI. 16 seconds. Let's just get some yards back here. Let's get the DJ Dash. Get out of bounds. Nice pickup. I know that doesn't seem like an important play, but I wanted to make the kick easier and make it a little bit easier for us to get a shot to get into the end zone as we go down at the goal line. There's a flag. It's going to be holding again. Call me crazy. I don't think we have the time to do it, but we're going to take a shot to the end zone. Clock runs out. Bad option, but whatever. At this point, man, we got to try to tie it up because our offense has been dreadful. We showed some signs here to end the first half, but I don't know, man. I'm not very confident with us. We struggled kicking, so I just didn't want to risk wasting points again. Delaware's going to open up the second half with the ball here. Hopefully, maybe our defense can keep playing pretty good here, as that's a nice tackle by Scruggs, who's out there on special teams. I was expecting more of an impact out of him, but when he's been on the field, he hasn't really come open or been explosive. He is a player that does need some development. He has high ceiling, but I'm just not sure if he's going to meet that here, as he might transfer in the offseason, just like Jeremiah Newell, number 58, who made that last tackle from the linebacker spot. He's another guy that I think will probably leave on us as they check down, get a completion. There is a flag. It's probably holding. And lo and behold, that's what they're going to call once again. I will admit there has been an update, and I think that slider isn't adjusted properly, but we're finishing this season on our current set of sliders. Next year, I'll have that fixed for you, as there should be holding calls, but not that many. 3rd and 12 after getting backed up here for the Blue Hens. We send a blitz, and down goes Brown. That's Carter getting through, making the play. We get the stop we need. Let's open up feeding Terrence Gibbs. And what is that, Broussard? You block somebody, please. They got everybody down here at the line of scrimmage. I'm looking to pass this one, and I think we got Broussard wide open. And again, dude, they're probably going to call holding. There's a flag. And of course, that's exactly what they do. It's almost unplayable at this point. 2nd and 18 now. We're just going to check it down, take what we can get to Terrence Gibbs, and he's going to make that 3rd and 3. We'll take it. RPO here. We got him. Easy completion to Von Amizi. He converts. 1st down, Sharks. Mills doesn't do great on the move, but we got to try it as we got Zach Ward open. Nice gain on 1st down. Trying to see if we can get Benjamin going again, and he got bottled up. 3rd and 1 from the pistol. We got it. Von Amizi wide open. One man to beat, and he gets through. Touchdown, Sharks. We're going to tie this ball game up. That's what we're looking for. Big play by the freshman receiver. Going to the RPO game here to begin this drive. Nice completion. There is a flag, and guess what? They're probably calling holding again. This time it'll be on their receiver. At least it's not an offensive lineman, I guess. It's gotten to the point where I'd like to decline the penalties, but they're not going to decline them for me, so we got to keep it even here. As they go to Spiller on the ground, and woo, he had a big opening there. Spiller stays in the game. They're going to hand it off to him, and again, he has that crease, and that's a 1st down. Got to switch it up and see if we can stop him. Spiller on the delay goes nowhere. That's a big tackle by Amani Nagy, as they're going to do another delay, and we're all over it. 3rd and long. Keeping up with the double mug look. That's worked. We're going to send pressure this time. Brown beats it for the 1st down. Jason Prevard. He's been beat quite a bit here. I know he plays the top receiver, and he's not our best corner. I probably should adjust that here for the rest of this game to try to get a victory. We'll get Kerr over there as Webb gets beat down the field. Big gain for the Hens. We'll see if that takes effect here on the next play as they go to the ground game. Spiller bottled up. Nice tackle by Nixon. So something didn't work out right. I just adjusted the corner group again to see if I can get Kerr to play on the other side against some of their better receivers. 3-man pressure. We get Brown on the move, and that's a short gain. We'll see if this makes a difference here. 3rd down and 6. Switched our corners. Hopefully we can get a better matchup here. Saturday, immediate pressure, and they target Prevard again, and he gets beat. At this point, you got to realize number 14 is just kind of the weakness. We might need to get him off the field as Saturday again, getting some pressure. Nice completion. 2nd down, back to the ground game. Spiller bottled up. Nowhere to go. 3rd down and 4 here. We're not getting any pressure. Brown's going to be able to cut us up, but he won't get the 1st down. Big 4th and 1 here. They bypass points, and they're going to get the completion. Kerr got beat. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Pitt moves into the number 1 ranking. Penn State at 11-0 sits at 4. That's shocking to me. 1st and goal. Back to Spiller, and we're all over it. 2nd down, they're going to keep us spread out, but Spiller is out of the game here. So we'll see if they go to their other back, and they do. We got him bottled up. 3rd and goal from the 9's never very promising as they use some motion here. They might just run it. No, they get the crosser, and he comes wide open, and he drops it. We got so lucky. That will force them to settle for the 3-point attempt here. I mean, they basically ran a perfect pick play that led to that wide open receiver, man. We got lucky. We'll take this 3-point deficit and hopefully answer. See if we can get a big drive here. We're going to go underneath. We got Zach Ward, and he'll take that for basically nothing. I thought we were going to get a first down on it. Again, going back to Ward, throws behind him, and he will convert the first down. Bills stays in the gun here, going back to the ground game. Aquan Benjamin, his best carry in a while right there. Second and short, we got underneath to DJ Dash. You can't hold on. He hasn't been very good for us in this game so far. We're going to bring in Scruggs and try to get him a few receptions and see if, maybe we can convince him to stay as we go into tight coverage, and Porter nearly makes the play. There's a flag. I don't know if they're going to call DPI or what here. That's what we get. Lucky call. We're going to take it, get the first down, keep this drive going. Getting the ball back in Porter's hands. One man to beat. He couldn't do it. RPO back to the ground game, and it's bottled up. Third and long. Randy Scruggs wide open. We get the ball to him. Big first down to the 4-star receiver. Sharks keep moving. Try to keep him involved here as we go to the ground game. It's Benjamin finding some good space here. Bills isn't much of a runner, but we got to try to keep that threat in the game as we ran an option for a big first down. From the 4, we're going to go back to the ground game, and that is Benjamin picking his way through for a couple. Browning checks into the game here. He's going to get the handoff, and he goes in. Touchdown, Sharks. We take the lead here, 17-13 in the fourth quarter. 5:24 left in this game. Our defense needs to get a stop and keep this lead intact. Or at the very least, if we allow a score, we need to make sure we have time left to be able to answer as they go underneath. Brendel, nice reception, first down. Brown's been a pretty efficient passer so far, but they go to the ground game. It's not Spiller out there. I forget who number 20 is, but that's a big carry for a first down. The Hens have had their way with us so far on this drive as Brown again finds the open receiver, but Kershaw breaks it up. Spiller checks back into the game. We got to watch out for him as we get no pressure on Brown. They miss the pass. Pavard, pretty good coverage there. I've dogged on him quite a bit, but he's been taking on the top receiver, and he's just not that talent level yet. As it's third down, we need a stop all day in the pocket, and it's Kerr getting burnt on the crosser. However, there's a flag that will likely bail us out as they're showing the offensive line. That's going to be a holding call backing the Blue Hens up. 3rd and 20. Let's just send a 3-man pressure. And Saturday Buster, they break it off with Brown, but that's a great stop. The Blue Hens are so backed up, they can't even go for it here, so they got to punt it, and it gives our offense a chance of closing this game out. Benjamin has a chance at a nice return. Sets us up, okay field position. But now we need to run clock, use their timeouts, and get the ball across the markers so we can get some first downs as DJ Dash is bottled up. 3rd down and 12 here. This is a huge play. Need to find somebody as there's pressure coming in. We get the pass away, but it don't matter. The Blue Hens got the stop they needed here. So now it's going to be all up to our defense to once again try to save the day and bail us out. They can still run the ball here, and that's what they do to Spiller, who breaks off the tackle of Carter. Kerr gets him down, but big play. That was their last chance before the 2-minute timeout. Now we got to just stop them here. Big sack right there by Saturday busting through. Check that. I lied. That was Andrew Woods. I got used to having Saturday out there in our 3-man pressure. Woods, again, made that play. I just got to be honest there. Made a mistake. Akari Kelly, first down. This is where I'm still learning the live comm stuff, guys. That was a little bit messed up there, but minute 37 left, reset right around the 45-yard line. We need to stop. Woods almost had Brown. Gets him on the move. Big hit, big pass breakup by Jaron Gilmore. 2nd down again. Brown underneath. Nice tackle by Gilmore. 3rd and short. See if our defense can hold strong here. Brown going down the field. Undercut Jaron Gilmore, baby. That just sealed this game up. It's over. The Hens still have 2 timeouts, but they're not going to get a shot in this game. If they get the ball back, they're not going to have time to do anything. We are going to hand it off. Just use the time. Try to use their timeouts. Just try to be smart here as Benjamin is going to break that tackle, get the first down, and that will end this ball game as we take a knee to finish the season 4-8. We doubled our season 1 win total. I will take that. This was a pretty good defensive game. Our offense did just enough to get the victory. I do think I learned a few things this season, and I think Keenan Mills really rebounded this week. He had a struggle game last week, and he got benched. He rebounded well. I think if we can keep Randy Scruggs around, we need to get him involved more. I like DJ Dash, but he's just too inconsistent, man. I think at times he just disappears from the offense, and his speed is really good and he can get the ball in his hands, but he can't create the separation and get himself open. I really hope he can develop that in the offseason because I think he could be a great player for us going forward. And Randy Scruggs did good. I got to give him credit because he hasn't played much this season, and we're at serious risk of him transferring away from us. And I probably should have tried to get him involved a little sooner in the offense, but I wanted DJ Dash with that high overall and breakaway speed to have all the chances he could, and he just, no, he hasn't been that impressive. He has drops. He just doesn't get open when we need him to in like third down situations. So if we can keep Scruggs around, I liked what I seen at the end of the game from him, and we'll see if we're able to keep him around to develop him. Maybe Dash can improve there, and next season will go a little bit better. Newell had a big day for us. So did Woods, of course. I'm really worried about how many of these guys we're going to lose in the next episode because there's so many good players on this team that if I can just hold it together for one more year, I'll feel really good about our direction. The main thing is I got to get our kicking better because I can't keep missing these kicks that I just shouldn't be. Coming out of that game, we are going to get to level 10, which is fantastic. It'll open up other opportunities for us to develop our tree, and it'll allow us to get into the recruiting and tactician, which is where we really need to get. I think recruiting is going to be huge for us, and it'll help fix these recruiting woes we've been having during the season. So, of course, I do want to unlock Recruiter. We're going to have to wait for another upgrade because we only have 16 of the 20 needed purchase points. So we'll wait, and that's where it's going to go next. Despite the disappointing finish to the season, I have decided that unless they leave for another job, we're going to keep both Damian Smith and Kurt Roper here, our offensive and defensive coordinator. We improved this year, and I do believe in both of these guys. So one more year to see if they can help us turn it around. Arch Manning is your Heisman winner. I know things don't feel like it's possible in real life, but he's still a pretty good prospect, man. He had a big year for Texas in the game. And Lewis Carter, dude, awesome. He won the Dick Butkus Award for us. I love it. Fantastic. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him around, though. I certainly hope we can. Considering how things have went here, I'm shocked we're still getting head coaching offers. Of course, we're not going to take them, but man, I don't know how it's possible. Unfortunately, as we look at early signing day, we haven't really made any progress. We haven't had any recruits signed, so we don't have any new information here. And it's looking like a lot of the guys we're going after, we're not doing well on. The only hope is in the offseason, the computer tends to turn their eye completely towards the portal. So the hope is maybe we can swoop in and hold on to some of these guys that I'm really worried about. And we're just going to have to be patient, wait and see. Some of the guys we lost, we'll see their dev trait real quick. Cantu had star. Adeniji at running back at impact. Impact for Levine, which is okay. Normal for Bryant. That really surprised me. Sap with impact, and then normal here for Worthy. So it doesn't look like the guys we missed out on are, not to say they're not bad players, but like nobody had elite devs, so that at least makes it a little better. The other problem we got here is we are the only team in the nation who does not have a commit. Kansas's lone commit is Bryant, who they beat us out for. And Stanford only has one commit, but we have the worst class in the nation heading into the offseason. So we got a lot of ground to make up. We got to see if we can really get this figured out and improved because this isn't good for the direction of the program. It's just the honest answer here. You have to look in the mirror sometimes and go, we didn't do good enough this year and we got to change up our targets next year. Let's go ahead and check out the bracket here. I think that it's really quite interesting how it all worked out. The number 1 team, Texas, makes sense. Number 2, Ohio State, makes sense. 3, Pitt. I'm kind of surprised by that. 4 is Duke. They are awesome in sim in this game, but that's a really good appearance by them. Oklahoma State just went undefeated and finished number 5, which feels like a ripoff. 6 is Georgia. 7's Penn State. 8 is Alabama, 9 is Arizona State, 10 is UCLA, who had a rebirth in this, 11's Oklahoma out of the SEC, and 12 is Bowling Green at 12-1 getting in as there were 17 in the country, but they won their group of 5 bid. So quite an impressive showing here. Before we jump into the playoff results, we'll look at the awards. Arch Manning cleaned up. Sataki won your coach of the year. He deserves it. He's a great coach. Trey White from Texas won a couple of awards. Kyan Lee at Pitt. Doak Walker went to Ahmad Hardy. He was originally at Missouri, but he's at Tennessee in this. He's a great player, man. Ryan Williams won your Bolitnikoff. Of course, the Lombardi Award. Trey White won. Jennings won the Unitas Golden Arm. Edge Rusher of the Year went to Trey White. Wouldn't call him necessarily a true edge rusher. Maybe he is. Parker Brailsford won the Outland. Mackey went to Ty Washington at Notre Dame. The Broyles Award for the best assistant coach went to Jeff Traylor. He was the former UTSA head coach. He's the offensive coordinator now at OSU. So I think you'll find him getting another head coaching job here soon. Like we knew the Dick Butkus Award went to our man here in Lewis Carter. He had a really good year, man. I really am impressed by him. He had a pick. He had a couple pass deflections. He had over 100 combined tackles, 8 sacks. He was awesome for us. Remington went to Brailsford. Lou Grozo definitely didn't go to our guy, I can tell you that. And the Ray guy went to Emilio Duran from Toledo. They have some new awards here. I also forgot, like they added the Sean Alexander Award, which is the freshman player of the year. That went to Deuce Knight, the quarterback at Tennessee. Really, really good prospect. He's not actually at Tennessee in real life, but he's a good prospect, man. He's a lefty. I don't think you're going to see us getting any All-Americans here. Actually, we did get some love. Jeremiah Newell and Lewis Carter, dude. That linebacker duo is impressive for us. I hope we can somehow hold on to both of them, because if we can, man, I think we have a great duo going in next year, and I think this team will really dramatically improve. And that's all we can really hope for. Looking at the freshman All-American, we could see some guys here uh, maybe showing up for us. Amani Nagy got on there. I'm very happy about that. Normally, I would up the overall if it's below a 70, and it doesn't look like that's going to really be an issue in this game, to be honest with you. But if there ever is a guy who's a true freshman like J.R. Lacey here at North Texas, I'm going to boost him to a 70 overall. I just think it's fair. And award winners also, I want to add that they will go up. If you win an award, you go up to a 90. If you're first team All-American, you go up to a 90. If you're a second team All-American, you go to an 87. Of course, you can't edit real life players, so it's not going to be an issue the first few years, but I will do it to our players and I'll do it to computer players. I just believe in improving the game in that way. And people don't love it, but it's something I've always done because I feel like the games never do a good job of capturing a guy who breaks out. And I feel like if they break out, you should boost them like that and give them the opportunity to really succeed in this. So that's just something I do, and you'll see it going forward. And we'll take care of the few guys this year that, the one guy we can edit is J.R. Lacey at North Texas. I'll get his overall up to a 70, and that's all we can do for now. But I'm really happy with Kershaw and Nagy both here making the freshman All-American. The problem is I'm not confident we're going to be able to keep either one of these guys on the team. Taking a look at our stats this season, it was a really up and down freshman year for Keenan Mills. 20 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 57% completion percentage, but it's something to build upon. He's going to have a chance, to reclaim his job next year, of course, unless I get somebody out of the portal, which I do intend on looking. Benjamin was good. Didn't quite hit 1,000 yards, which is kind of my goal for him this year, but I definitely liked what I seen from him. Terrence Gibbs, he was not very dynamic. I got a little better with him later in the year, and I think that's how we're going to end up using Jaleel Radley going into the future. And I think that role will become more important here to the offense. Quincy Porter had a very good year. I was hoping to get him over 1,000. We came up just shy of that. But 67, 982, and 7. If we can keep him around, which the deal breaker looks good, I think he's going to be a great player for us going forward. DJ Dash needs some development. Like I said, only 9.7 yards per catch. 92 catches. We got the ball in his hands a lot, and he just didn't create like I hoped he would. And 12 drops. I mean, we had 11 drops for Porter and 12 for Ward as well. I don't know. I expected a little bit more out of DJ Dash than what I got. So I hope he grows in the offseason. He's a small little guy, but he needs to be creative with the ball in his hands. Like, that's where he's going to really make his hay. That speed isn't necessarily going to win down the field because I don't think Keenan Mills is accurate enough. But I really think that if we do things right, he's going to be a big play threat for us. Tavon Amizi, excellent freshman season. I hope he builds upon that. Strong chance he returns to the team. And, Randy Scruggs is one I'm really worried about. We have C- prestige for our conference. He might hit the portal on us. He has a ton of upside. I really liked how he was able to get open late in the year. And you could see that route runner kind of show up to where DJ Dash didn't have it. So I'm hoping we can maybe keep him around and develop him further. Surprisingly, for all the sacks we took this year, not many of them were credited to our offensive line. Gregory did pretty good. Galindo was good at center, in my opinion. Gave up some sacks, but I'm happy with how he played overall. Biggest thing we got to clean up is them holding penalties. Defensively, Lewis Carter led us with 101 combined tackles. Jaron Gilmore had 92 playing in the slot. He's gone after this year. He was a great one-year rental. I just wish we could have capitalized it with more victories. Hopefully, somehow Kershaw will return. I'm not confident about that. Same with Newell, because those are both guys that I think are going to be very important to us going into next season. But I'm really worried, especially with Newell winning the All-American Award. He ain't going to want to come back, man. And it's going to be disappointing for us. And there's nothing we can do about it, but really wait and see what happens in the next episode. Boole had 34 TFLs, 33 for Carter, 26 for Nagy. And the problem is, 2 out of the 3 of them might hit the portal on us. So I'm not feeling very good, man. Brand exposure for Quandell Russell, our other edge rusher. He had a good year. Didn't break out the way I hoped. Nagy was definitely a little better. So worried about losing them guys. Damian Hooks was good this year, though. 14 TFLs, 5 sacks. For just a 68 overall player, I'm really impressed by him. And I'm encouraged that he will likely be back, but I'm really, really discouraged by how these deal breakers look. And knowing how our record is, if these guys can move on, there's a strong feeling that they probably will. And I'm happy that the game's like this, but boy, does it make it stressful heading into the offseason sometimes because, yeah, you don't know what to expect. And I like where our team is, and I think we're building it well. And with a poor recruiting class, and then that's the chance of losing everybody, I'm definitely a little concerned about how this is all going to play out. Our biggest issue this year, outside of, quarterback play being very up and down, was kicking. I missed far too many kicks with Earl Peters. I've got to get better, and I'm going to work on that in the offseason. I will say, pretty impressed here with Soliday, our punter. I think he was good. Kick returns, okay. Kazi had solid average. Same with Washington. Nothing special. Punt returns, I thought we could get more out of Aquan Benjamin than we did. Maybe that's a role we take him out of next year if he doesn't hit the portal because, he doesn't love our conference prestige either. Definitely had some interesting moves happen at the head coaching position. Kent State's coach went to the NFL. Western Michigan lost their head coach to Georgia Tech. Stanford's coach went to Kansas, but it looks like he was fired before he took that job. I don't know if he's the head coach there. It looks like he is. Tim Beck is at Kent State now as the head coach. He left Coastal Carolina. Northwestern took the coach from UMass. Pretty interesting there. Trent Bray from Oregon State went to the NFL. Brant Key was fired, but he is now at BYU as the head coach. Georgia Tech's, real life head coach. Jim Mora retired from Kansas. That's how that job opened up. Brian Kelly retired at LSU, so they have a new head coach. Thomas Hammock came over from Northern Illinois to take over Minnesota's job. Sean Lewis was fired from San Diego State. UTSA hired Greg Clinton. Don't care about that as much. There's some big ones in here that I need to find. You can see some of the new coordinators here that have taken over bigger jobs. Kentucky hired a DC to take over their head job. Kenny Dillingham left Arizona State to head to FSU to be their head man. Rich Rodriguez is at USF after getting fired from West Virginia, who then replaced him with Alex Golish from USF, so they kind of just made a trade there. Jamie Chadwell's at Wisconsin. Weird fit. Don't think that'll work. PJ Fleck was fired from Minnesota. He headed over to Oregon State. Sharon Moore got fired from BYU after being fired from Michigan, and now he's at Maryland. Mike Norvell headed to Stanford after being fired by Florida State. Interesting. Shane Beamer left South Carolina, which would be a shock to go to LSU. Lance Leipold was fired at Wisconsin, but then he got hired at Iowa. Definitely didn't expect to see that one happen. GJ Kinney headed from Texas State to South Carolina to be their head coach. Mark Stoops is at Arizona State now after leaving Kentucky to become their head coach. Definitely some interesting moves there as we take a look at the national champion, Duke Blue Devils. They beat Ohio State. I never would have guessed this one looking at the playoff bracket, but Oklahoma State won and then lost to Duke. Arizona State lost to Alabama, who then beat Texas to take on Duke, and Duke beat Alabama to go to the title game. On the bottom side of the bracket, Oklahoma lost to Georgia, and UCLA beat Penn State. I can't believe, Penn State can't even win the big one here. Pitt then lost to Georgia, and Ohio State took out UCLA, and then Ohio State, of course, beat Georgia by 1. Just to lose to Duke by 1. The Blue Devils won a football national championship. I tell you what, that is not something I would have seen coming. Definitely an interesting turn out of this bracket here. But that's where we're going to leave it here. Next up, we got the offseason. We're going to rebuild this team, see the players we lose. And I will admit, I'm very scared for how this is going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And let me know. We're going to have, I'm looking for feedback, whether you like the live comm or the post comm better for the series. You guys let me know down in the comments if you're still here. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I'm out.